It's Nolan. What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hey, man, if you're missing an intro, you thinking, hey, I was waiting on a rap to come jump in. Yes, I understand. I got you. But on this one, we're going to get right into the conversation, man. This is what's going on in hip hop today. We got this Big Sean and Charlamagne, the interview. Not Charlamagne the guy, but Charlamagne the interview. I fucked that up and rebounded real quick. But yeah, we got this Big Sean and Charlamagne interview that hit the streets this morning. And of course, everything that everybody's been wondering about Big Sean was addressed in this interview, okay? Whether it be the previous run-in he had in 2017 with Kendrick Lamar, whether it be the run-ins that he's had with Kanye over the years, the money that Kanye owed him that he, was delinquent about at one point, whether it be the current issues with Kendrick Lamar, and I won't say issues, but people were perceiving that there was still some sort of issue. People wanted to see Big Sean go headfirst into a battle with Kendrick on the heels of the whole Drake ordeal. All of these things were addressed in the interview, not to mention Big Sean did talk about his mental health journey. He talked about his come up, getting signed to Good Music, and how he's been in the Good Music camp since graduation, but he just had to wait his turn. And how that affected him. He talked about numerous things. Talked about his relationship with Janae Aiko, like the whole gamut, fatherhood, right? But unfortunately, the thing about Big Sean is, and I hate to say this, is that people really don't give a fuck about some of the things that Big Sean is trying to talk about these days. When he comes out and talks about being a father, it's like, all right, yeah, you had your kid, congratulations, nigga, get back to rap. That's not how I feel, but that's how the public perceives him. When he talks about going through his mental health journey and getting his life together and getting out of a depression era, getting off of opioids and shit like that, because he said he was taking Adderall at one point pretty consistently, not prescribed, just something he was doing, and it was helping him to like work. But then at a certain point, he was hitting these really tough burnout spurts and stuff like that was fucking up his productivity. And it's like, all right, man, I came out of that. I had to go do therapy. I did all this good shit. And niggas be like, okay, great, nigga. Fuck that shit. Let's get you back to rap. And really what they trying to say is, we've been waiting for you to get in the ring. Right? He talked about the big three and the fact that he gets excluded from that conversation. He doesn't necessarily like that he gets excluded from the conversation. He feels like he actually is in the big three. I don't see how you squeeze a fourth into the three. And I would love to know who you would have to move out of the three to put him in it. Just saying, based on his conversation with Charlamagne. So we're going to get into all of those things in this particular video. We're only going to address those things as it relates to the conversations that people really care about. If you want to see the entire interview with Charlamagne and Big Sean, it's like an hour, 47 minutes or something like that. You could go on Charlamagne's page after this, but stay here so we can have the real conversations and talk about this shit from a unbiased perspective of a nigga that's not sitting in front of you or nothing. And I'm gonna go ahead and let it be known straight up, I am a Big Sean fan and supporter, have been since day one. I know people that have never liked Big Sean. I know people that just recently came around the corner to fucking with Big Sean. But I was one of those people that downloaded the original mixtape that Big Sean dropped when he was on MySpace. That shit where it was like, what is it called? You Know Big Sean? Y'all remember that? A lot of y'all probably don't. I'ma make $1 million and do it again. And all that shit that on that. Gonna get you some, gonna get you some. When he was like overdoing the babe shit. I've been listening to the nigga since then. So I guess I would be a great person to talk about this because it's been, whoo, shit. It's 2024 now. It's been probably about 14 years since I first heard Big Sean. So let's get into it, man. Now, first up, we're going to get into the whole control ordeal. because this is where a lot of stuff changed for Big Sean. This is where whatever status he had going into dropping Control, people started looking at him like he was a lame, like he was soft, like he wasn't ready to be war ready. And it changed a lot for Big Sean. So we're going to go ahead and pull that up.
Kendrick on Control, he laid the gauntlet down for everybody on that, though.
But let's not forget who put Control there, bro. I'm the one who put it out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was the one who put the whole thing together.
Did you ever think you wanted to go change your verse just to...
No.
Okay.
No, I didn't, because I respected that he thought of that to name people and do all that, but let's not forget who put Control out and whose song it is. Like, I did that because I cared, that I knew that when I thought about it, when I got the verse back, I'm like, man, that was real interesting that he chose that perspective. And I wasn't about to be like, oh, you can't do that, like, on my song. I was like, shit, he either gonna get it off here or somewhere else. It was like, fuck it, you know, let's run it. But they didn't clear the song. You know what I'm saying? After it came out, and I took that bullet for the culture, it didn't get cleared.
What you mean it didn't get cleared?
Like, the reason it wasn't on my album is because they didn't clear it.
TDE didn't clear it?
Yeah, because of all the controversy and drama that it amassed, I assume, or, you know.
It was already out, though, so what's the...
I got to interject here because this actually goes against the original story that was out there about why Control didn't go on that project. And I think that was the Hall of Fame album that Big Sean put out. The original story was that they couldn't get the sample cleared because there was a sample on that song where it's like a in the background. So the story back in this time, 2012 or whatever year that was, I think it was 2012. When this song drops, or 2013, either or. When this song drops, he says, I couldn't get this sample cleared, but I'm going to put it out for the sake of hip hop anyway. That's what Big Sean originally said when the song came out. So now we have a completely different narrative over a decade later where he says it didn't have nothing to do with the sample. TDE and Kendrick Lamar did not professionally clear his appearance on the record. So it wasn't supposed to come out to be on his album. I think that's a little weird. I feel like the narrative either back then was a cover-up, which I don't understand because the controversy wasn't there, because nobody had heard it, and you had already said that there was a sample issue, so it couldn't go on the album. But now in 2024, you're saying that's not the problem. It was the fact that there was too much controversy surrounding the verse when you leaked the song that Kendrick and TDE didn't clear it for your album. I don't know which story is true. I don't live in Big Sean's head. I didn't work at Def Jam or Good Music to know what the situation was. I'm just letting y'all know as a fan that was tuned into the situation, I see the two conflicting stories and I'm wondering what the hell's going on. All right, I had to jump in here. But let me find out them niggas shut that shit down because that's weird. That verse changed everything. That verse changed the entire scope of hip hop as it pertained to like the top rappers at that time, whether it be Kendrick, whether it be Drake, whether it be Cole, Big Sean, Wale. All of these guys were coexisting all at the same time, having varying levels of success. But once he put that verse out, it put him as like the target. He became the perceived number one guy, the number one target in hip hop. Even as Drake was a bigger artist than him, he had put the flag in the ground saying, I'm not here to be buddy with none of you niggas. And y'all know I fuck with Cole. You see I'm on a Big Sean song, so it ain't no issue. But I'm letting it be known, I want to be the GOAT. Y'all niggas are cool with just being here. Nah. Keep this in mind because we're gonna come back to that later. But I'm gonna let Sean get back to his shit.
That was what I'm saying. I'm like, we agreed to do the song, put it out. I'm like, put it on my album. They like, oh no, you know, it was, you know. I never really got a full explanation of why that didn't. It just never got cleared. But it wasn't like I didn't clear it and shit. Yeah.
Does it upset you that you aren't in the Big Three combo?
I think I am in the Big Three combo.
What Big Three combo?
The big thing, man, you funny,
You're not in
man.
the. What you mean?
Funny,
You know,
man.
the combo is Drake, Kendrick, and Cole. That's what it's always been.
Charlamagne violated the shit out of you, boy, and I'm glad he did, just so you could be confronted with this shit in real time. And I fuck with Sean, but I'm glad. You know, sometimes I disagree with a lot of Charlamagne's antics and what he says and does. I feel like he got it right on that one. Like, let that nigga feel the heat. Like, cause reality must set in at some point, or does it not matter? Gotta hurt who your baby mama's favorite rapper. Let me not quote Super Ugly, because Jay don't even co-sign that song no more. Get back to Sean.
And I hear my name around that a lot, so.
Outside of the big three, I actually think it's a Fantastic Four. Because I throw Future in there.
Okay.
But not because of lyrics, but just because of impact over the last decade plus. And then I think after that, that's when you talk about the Seans, the Wale's. That's why I go.
Well, there's only one me and there's only one Wale, so. Okay, so the big three converse. So what's the question?
Do you ever be upset that you're not in that combo?
What's up, guys? We're gonna hop into the store. I've been hunting for this card everywhere. Hopefully I can find it. If not, thing called.
Well, shit, I hear my fucking name all the time when people talk about this big three stuff and like.
Because even when you said who'd you say your bigger three? I don't have to.
So your so-called bigger three. Right?
Oh, okay, so what people think is the okay. I got what you're saying.
Yeah. What
got
people think. Yeah, that's why I said your so-called bigger three.
Or the general consensus big three.
But I also understand that I have been very inconsistent as an artist. My consistency is where I lack. I say that in that too. It's like I haven't put out music in 4 years, bro, essentially. You know what I mean? I haven't put a project out. So I can't expect to be in that conversation when I haven't been consistently feeding hip hop.
Great answer by Big Sean. Masterful answer. You know what I'm saying? Especially for anybody out there that hasn't been tuned in for the past decade. Excellent answer. However, I hate to break it to you in case you didn't know. You were never a part of the big three conversation, respectfully. Again, I'm a fan. Been there from the jump. I've watched it. There was no big three conversation that ever included Big Sean. Love you. You know what I'm saying? But it just didn't happen. And the reason why, because Big Sean has commercial success, just as the others do. Just doesn't have the same amount of commercial success. And he always just came across a little bit dainty. You know what I'm saying? Early days of Big Sean, he used to wear those little tank tops and stuff. He just looked like some skinny kid that could rap. You know what I'm saying? He just didn't seem like a convincing face of hip hop. And that's what it is. It's just like when you look at the NBA. And again, I love sports. I love basketball. I love the NBA. I know everybody doesn't tune in. But there's also been that argument of who's going to be the face of the NBA at this point. And people put like Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum is an excellent player, but he is not equipped to be the face of the NBA because he just is not a convincing person when it comes to like, this is all like, you know what I mean? Maybe he doesn't have the ferociousness or the veracity when he hits the court. You know what I mean? He smiles too much, or, you know what I'm saying? He's a light-skinned nigga. Like, there's certain extenuating factors that just kind of keep niggas out the loop. You know what I mean? He's not Steph Curry, right? He doesn't have like some super prolific element to his game that puts him in that LeBron. Like, he don't jump as high. His 3-point shot ain't water as like Dame. You know what I mean? So no, he can't be. When you look at Anthony Edwards, his athleticism, his ferociousness, his approach to the game, his willingness to talk shit in interviews and go at his opponent, they say, yeah, that's him, right? That's what Big Sean has lacked in hip hop for his entire career. I'm gonna give my commentary. Gotta be honest.
Fans and feeding, and that's something that, as an artist, it hurts because I do need to, the people who do rock and ride for me, like, I want to give them reasons to be fans, and I think that just comes with more consistency. But I think I'm at a point in my life where I can produce more, but still keep it on God's time and in my time. But, I think the way my life is going, it's like that's one of my priorities, is to like put more music out with meaning too, though. You know, with still that feeling of feeling good about it.
Let me show you how God works. Look what my next question was. Can you be upset by what you haven't gotten out of rap if you know that you haven't been as consistent as the people in the big three?
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, I'm not delusional. Like, I haven't been putting out music, so that's one of the, yeah. But I do feel like when it comes to rapping abilities that I have no limit on my rapping abilities. I feel like I can keep improving and keep getting better, and I can hang with anybody on any song.
You know,
and I've proven that.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
With all of them.
With all, 100%.
Yeah, and even like with Control, the next song we did, I made sure I had a better verse on Holy Key. With, and that's just, you know, that was just because I was like, wait, hold up, you know, I gotta like make sure I'm repping my shit proper right now.
Remember I told you when I started this interview, I wanted people to get clarity on who Sean is.
As somebody who played Holy Key more than the average person, you definitely improved your verse. You had a really good verse. But better than Kendrick? That's debatable, and I don't. Most debates, I don't see you coming out on top. But that's neither here nor there. You did do well on Holy Key, but I don't know, brother. So now let's get into the direct Kendrick Lamar smokers. Now we got into the Control thing. So now we're gonna get into more of how things panned out between himself and Sean over the years. Okay?
So then Nipsey dies. Joe Budden had created this, like, before that, Joe Budden had made this, like, there's a Kendrick Big Sean beef, and to the point where I tried to ignore it, but he made that narrative so fucking real that I think it really did become a thing. So like,
He wasn't all the way wrong though. You said there might have been something in the air.
Well, yeah, because I'm getting to the point where me and Kendrick talk.
Okay.
So I get to the point where I'm like, damn, do we got something going on? That's why I had something prepared, right? And then when I run into Dave Free, and he's like, nah, bro, it ain't nothing. Like, it's all love. He said something like that wasn't directly towards you. It was for anyone, you know? Okay. So then Nipsey dies. And I sit on a plane next to Punch. Random as hell. We're headed to J. Cole's festival. And he's like, you ever talk to Kendrick? And I'm like, no, I never. I know it ain't shit there. But no, we never really spoke. Then around that time, like that day or maybe the day before that or the week or day within that same time period, that leaked shit happened. It was a leaked verse. And it said what you said.
Yep.
I'm like, damn, nigga, y'all motherfuckers said it wasn't shit and it was something. So you got me looking crazy.
But maybe he prepared something just like the same way you was thinking. He was like, you know, let me get my nukes just in case too.
Right, but the thing is that song came out and he changed that bar, right? So that wasn't on the song anymore. It was a leaked verse. So I had to keep that in mind because I was pissed when I heard it. So then I'm like, okay, he changed that on his own. So he probably came to the conclusion that it was nothing. So then then me and him talk. And I got the text on my phone. And he's like, I might pull the text out and read it.
Let's hear it. Why not?
Oh, I ain't even got somebody else got my phone.
Somebody grab Sean's phone.
I essentially.
No need to misquote him.
Yeah, I ain't trying to misquote shit. Because I don't give a fuck that much to misquote a nigga.
And how long ago was this? You said right after Nip died?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, you can read my stuff, too.
You want me to read it?
No.
Okay,
I don't think we should read it because I think that's kind of like bitch made, but I want you to kind of like see the sentiment of it. Hold on. So this is me, and then this is him. What up, champ? You know, yes, we're in great grievance.
That's real.
Wrongly. So, in a sense, I don't want to say it. He apologized, in a sense, for going that far, you know, and for that shit coming out, right?
Yeah.
So I wanted to show you that because, in a sense, he apologized, right?
Yeah.
So if Kendrick apologized for that same leak that I heard prematurely, right, that he didn't use, it's like, then it leaks fully later, right? And people hear it, and we already discussed it. And he said, appreciate the shout out on a Nipsey song. I already addressed it on the song with Nip. Lack of communication and wrong information for people fueled by the ego is like mixing flames with diesel.
That's what he said to you in the...
No, that's what I said on a song with Nipsey.
Oh, I know, but in the text it sounded like he's kind of said the same thing.
Yeah, that's why I said it in the song. Because in that text he said, yo, you know, my ego, da-da-da. So it's like, when that shit leaks, it's like, people are like, oh, you heard what he said about you? I'm like, nigga, I'm not a clout chasing ass nigga, bro. I'm solid and I stand on mine, and I'm not about to do something because everyone thinks a certain thing. Like, we already talked about it. I already got an apology for it.
And your shirt right now says, I do not care about their opinions.
Yes.
So why would you care about the opinions of other people if you know what it is between you and Dot?
Exactly. And
all right, so now I'm about to jump in. So this is where the issue between Big Sean and hip hop comes into play. And this is a similar situation as to the current issue with hip hop and J. Cole. Big Sean here, along with J. Cole, they care more about how they feel personally than what hip hop fans and spectators would like to see, right? So when Big Sean confronts Kendrick behind the scenes in a text about a leaked diss that he heard, because he really could have just jumped in the booth, not even ask Kendrick about it, just start firing, right? Because niggas already know, and the line in question is, you're finally famous for who you date, not how you rhyme. Everybody who heard that line knew what it was. He could have hopped in the booth, put a freestyle out that week, and everything could have been coded in a way that everybody knew he was talking about Kendrick, or could have taken the offense and said, this nigga Kendrick, da 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 blah 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 blah, you know what I'm saying? And just threw it all the way on Front Street. But instead of doing that, he said, nah, I'm gonna be an actual man about this shit rather than do it the hip hop way. Because back in the 90s and the early 2000s, niggas in hip hop, if they even felt like you dissed them or said anything related, it's nigga, if you go and watch Memphis Bleek's Drink Champs interview, right? Niggas gassed up Memphis Bleek. This nigga Nas came out with a song and said, I put the fifth right to your hat or something like that, right? And Memphis Bleek homeboy said, bro, that nigga Nas just dissed you. He like, word, what song is it? They play it for him. I put the fifth right to your hat. They said, nigga, you the one that be wearing hats all the time. Think about hip hop. Think about a nigga like me. I wear a hat goddamn every day. You know what I'm saying? And they convinced him, yeah, nah, nigga, you the one that be wearing the hats. So Memphis Bleek goes in the booth and starts taking shots. Talking about, it was written, you wrote your whole lifestyle, play your position or some shit, right? Jumped out the window. And that is actually what led to the Jay-Z and Nas battle. It was like years of Memphis Bleek saying shit, Nas responding in his own little way, Memphis Bleek. Then Jay like, all right, bro, I can't let you beat up on my little homie. You know what I'm saying? But had Bleek never got convinced by his homeboys that his hat was Nas's target, would have never happened. Right? So Big Sean, rather than take the Memphis Bleek route, he was like, let me speak to the nigga directly. He does that. Behind the scenes, he gets closure with the situation, but then hip hop gets a hold of it because he said he heard it before it actually leaked all the way out to the world. So now we're looking at him like some soft ass nigga. We had already heard the Heart Part 4 where he was like, Jay-Z Hall of Fame, sit your hoe ass down. And this nigga had just dropped an album called Hall of Fame. All this different type of stuff. Of course, the little bitch and all that stuff, he was throwing it around on there. And then Humble was out and, hold up, little bitch, which is, everybody knew little bitch was Big Sean's trademark and ad lib. But he felt he already had gotten the closure that was needed rather than the collective of the audience in hip hop. So we've been looking at this nigga like he's soft for the past 7 years, regardless of how he felt about the situation, because he said, I went direct to the man. The man told me it wasn't about me or whatever. Egos got in the way, this, that, and the third. We settled the shit. We settled it. I've moved on, but y'all still want me to go to the square with a nigga that I'm cool with. Just like J. Cole got on stage at Dreamville after putting out 7-minute drill. The shit was unsettling because he's like, oh, I'm about to lean into the spectacle of hip hop rather than clarify how I truly feel about a nigga that I fuck with. Nah, let me go ahead and put my apology out there and get the fuck up out the way. Let these niggas do what they gonna do, because this ain't really what I'm trying to do. This ain't never been what I'm about. And why would I start today at this big age? But that's what hip hop does. And Kendrick, unlike some of these other guys, based on his background, you know what I mean? I think people seem to forget what Kendrick's background is, coming out of where he's from, out of West Side Compton. West Side specifically, if you know what I'm talking about with them P's, you know what I'm talking about. Kendrick may not have ever claimed a gang, but he was affiliated through life and proximity to where he had to get out and scuffle and squabble. He talked about getting stomped down in front of his mama and all this different type of stuff. He been trying to get back about that jumping years later. If you remember AD, who used to be on No Jumper, who's now on what is it, back on Fig? I don't think, no, Community. Nonetheless, he said Kendrick Lamar confronted him in the studio the first time that they really came across each other. And he said, bro, you from over here? Da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, some niggas jumped me. A nigga that looked just like you jumped me back in the day. He was finna bang on his ass in the studio. He had to clarify if you, was that you? AD like, man, I don't even know what you're talking about. So it's not to say that Big Sean ain't no, you know what I mean, is a bitch. But it's just Kendrick went through a different set of conditioning that put him in a position where it's like, if anything go bad with these rap niggas, I could give a fuck. It don't have to, but when I get in that mode, I really don't care about none of you niggas, because shit I've been through and where I'm at with it, we could go whatever way y'all niggas want to go. No hesitation. And he's carried that. And that's why he gets seen as, you know, unfortunately, the alpha over his other contemporaries, because I like you niggas. I'll do songs with you niggas. I'll hang out with you niggas. You can come to my house. I'll go to your house. But unfortunately, I didn't grow up with you niggas. So if it feels funny, I'll take the offense rather than, you know what I mean? So I don't know. We'll get back to Sean though.
And that's what it's been. You know, I ain't really had too much communication with him since then. Mm-hmm. And, you know, but I just want to I represent a lot of people from my city, from where I come from, fans of mine, who think I didn't stand on my shit. And that's not the case. And that's what I want to clarify. Mm-hmm. I wasn't being a bitch nigga or like tucking my tail or nothing like that. And if it was real smoke, if it was really something to stand on, I would be full front. I would be there front and center for it. Mm-hmm. And I would be prepared. You know what I'm saying? But it's not. And people want to make something that is not. So that's something that I never really got a chance to clarify.
Unfortunately, Sean, whether you clarify it or not, it's already happened. And the fact that you weren't doing interviews, the fact that you weren't being aggressive towards Kendrick at a time when people were waiting and looking to see it, it doesn't really clear anything up, because they've already cemented how you feel. I understand where you're coming from. I understood because even when some of these lines came out in these new songs and people thought that y'all was going to go head to head because they thought that you were going at them, I already knew, because I'm like, they been squashed this shit back in 2019. Right? But unfortunately, people haven't always been clued in. We have a whole new generation of people from 2019 to 2024 who just got really interested in hip hop. They don't have no interest in going back. They skip over the details. They may have even saw it when it happened and just don't have the memory, you know what I mean, in their head to think of this stuff. But it just shows you how irresponsible a lot of people can be with the platforming as well. So that's Big Sean explaining that. And then he also gets to the internet, as I was just talking about, platforming people and wanting to see this bloodthirst, as J. Cole talked about, and wanting to see these niggas go head to head and battle it out, even if that's not exactly what they want. We're treating them like prize fighters and basically tailoring our perspective of these people based on whether or not they're willing to go at it. So here's Sean on that, and then we'll get to the Kanye shit.
Talked about the line, niggas looking for engagement like they got their knee bent. I got better things to do than find somebody to beef with. Everybody thought you was talking about Kendrick. My guy DJ Head said he spoke to you, and he said that you wasn't talking about Kendrick. It was directed at another Gemini. So I'm just assuming Kanye.
Yeah, but that was the point. I was saying, like, I got better things to do than to beef. Like,
with Kanye?
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah, but
Got you.
And I didn't know. I'm just, like, talking my shit, really. Well, that goes for anyone. I mean, it could apply to anybody, yeah. That could apply to Ye, Kendrick, whoever. Like, I got better things to do than find someone to beef with. I didn't say I want to find someone to beef with. So to me, it's like, who the fuck matters who the fuck I'm talking about? I said I don't want, that's not where I'm going.
I think the internet was gassing it up because they wanted to see.
They want to see that.
They want to see Kendrick go at somebody else. So if Kendrick and Sean is the next one, let's line it up.
Right.
That's what I think was happening.
I think people just were like, just looking for engagement. Like I said in the thing, people looking for engagement like they got their knee bent. It's like, I don't think people give a fuck about, especially these media outlets, they don't give a fuck about me. They don't give a fuck about Kendrick neither. They just looking for the,
that's it.
The clip. You know,
I'm
not gonna say who I talk to, but one of my homies who does like hip hop journalism, he was like, bro, I made the most money I ever made from this Drake and Kendrick beef by just doing reaction videos and like talking about it than I have in 10 years of like doing hip hop, right?
Who was that, Rob Markman? My guy Rob. By the way, when you say hip hop journalist, there's only a couple of them out there. Yeah. So it's just like
well, he is a real hip hop journalist.
He's one of the best.
He's the best.
One of the best.
He is.
If not the best.
Yeah, Rob Markman is like that guy. So yeah, it was Rob Markman.
Yeah.
And he was just saying that like it's not about like people giving you know.
When that afternoon slump hits you.
Feeling weird, like speaking on behalf of other people. That's like, I don't know why that's just not natural to me, but it's something weird, like whatever. But yeah.
Who is the rappers that got matching tattoos? And why are you shooting subliminals at them?
Subliminal? Why is it a subliminal?
I didn't know who you was talking about. I saw mad people asking that question. Who's the rappers that got matching tattoos?
So many rappers got matching tattoos.
Wow.
Man, definitely Kanye and somebody else. I forgot who all them niggas was that got the matching tattoos. But I want to send a big shout out to Rob Markman. You know what I'm saying? To be honest, Rob Markman is actually an inspiration for what it is that I do. He reached his heights in journalism, doing interviews for Genius, elevating to an executive over at Genius, then also, you know, introducing himself as an actual hip-hop artist, rapping, got features with other artists in the industry. So even though he's not as respected musically, and he could probably be respected even on a larger scale as a journalist, you know what I'm saying? Rob Markman is highly respected by the artists and other people that are inside the media. And he plays both sides, you know what I'm saying? Player and coach. Journalist and lyricist. So he's definitely somebody who I saw doing that, and I was like, yo, that means that there's an open lane. So big shout out to Rob Markman, man. Without you, I may not have had the courage to do inside the industry because I was being encouraged to do this stuff, but I needed my angle. So respect. So yeah, we talking about Sean and not wanting to go find someone to beef with, right? We're going to skip past the whole niggas with matching tattoos, although that does sound a little suspect. That's Kanye shit, right? So let's get to the crux of Sean and Kanye's relationship. You know, let's get to the meat and potatoes, man. All the other shit, somebody else could talk about it, or you could actually go watch the interview yourself to get that full scoop. But now we're about to get into Sean and Ye, where they stand, the $6 million that Kanye owed him off of his music, and how that got worked out, etc. All right, so let's get to that.
How is your relationship now? And can you have a relationship with a person who shitted on you the way he did on Drink Champs and he owes you $6 million? Can y'all ever have a genuine relationship?
Well, he doesn't owe me the money anymore. It got resolved. But
oh, he paid you?
Someone paid me. I guess it was him. But
Word.
Yeah, but I took a little less than I just wanted to end it instead of going to court for some shit over that.
What was the haircut? It was $6 million, so what was the haircut? What was the haircut? How much did you end up getting?
Let's see. That is none of your business.
But you good though, y'all. He did pay you, basically.
Well, yeah. So the thing was, I had an issue, and I had an issue because I kept privately being like, "Yo, I need my money," to his lawyers, to him, not really bringing it to him so much because I know the type of guy he is. He don't be dealing with all of the business aspect of things all the time. You know what I'm saying? So I'm doing it properly. I'm going through the proper channels, management. They're like, you know what I'm saying? And then after years go by, it's not like I was super hurting for it, but at the same time, it's like, first of all, and I don't want to get it misconstrued, like signing to good music was the best thing that could have happened to me in that moment in my life, period. I don't take it for granted. It was a golden opportunity signing to my favorite artist at the time and being able to sell 185 million records under good music. You know what I'm saying? It was a dream come true, and his only profitable artist at that. So it's like, I wore that good music and still do. I still fuck with the brand and what it did for me and everything. Like, and there's a part of me that will forever fuck with Ye because of that too. For signing me, you know, I'll never discount that. But at the same time, with the deal I signed, he made more money off of my music than me, which is totally fine. I'm not complaining about that. It's just a fact. People be trying to take this so much as a fact. It's just a fucking fact. So when you're owed money off of a deal that you're already getting the lesser part of it, and you're hitting, I'm hitting up Def Jam because I'm auditing Def Jam. Jeff Harleston, you know Jeff Harleston.
Absolutely.
I know all these people. I'm like, yo, I need my money, bro. Like, where the fuck is my money? Because I'm auditing Def Jam. Every time I audit Def Jam, there's money sitting there. And then when I really broke it down, and they were like, oh, yo, you sold 185 million records. I'm like, wait, this don't equate, right? Where's my $6 million? $6 million. No one's getting back to me. So then I drop a feature on Benny the Butcher's album, and I say something about it, like, niggas that's up B's that owe me M's. I'm talking about Def Jam. Later on, I realized, oh no, your money got paid a long time ago to good music. Okay, I don't give a fuck. Where's my money?
Right.
Oh, no, you got to hit up Ye for that. Oh, shit, okay. Ye, where's my money? You know, I'm not getting a straight answer from no one. So then I'm like, bro, y'all playing with my money. This is ridiculous, dog. After all of the times where I've sat in the studio, contributed, not got any credit on shit, which is, like I said, I'm not even complaining about that. It is what it is, but the point is like, I need my money that's owed to me. You know what I'm saying? So that's all that was. I ended up settling because I didn't want to deal with it no more. I wanted to move past it because that shit is all an energy too. So, you know, and after he said what he said, and then I got back up with him after he said what he said on Drink Champs.
Oh, so y'all did connect after Drink Champs?
Yeah, and I'm just...
In person, phone?
In person.
Okay.
Yeah, and he said, you know, he said what he said. I'm not into like gossip and stuff, but he said what he said, and it made me realize that I couldn't really take all what he was saying serious on that Drink Champs.
Very performative.
Very performative, and that's how I am. That's like probably one of the reasons why, like, I feel like that's what I'm not. That's what he's good at, and I'm not so good at that. You know, because I'm like, I don't like doing things that don't feel real or like, you know, where, you know, when we were there, it was like, oh yeah, make sure they get a picture of us leaving here so they can. I'm like, what, nigga? You saying some wild ass shit about me though? You know what I mean? Like.
I hate that sucker shit.
I don't like that type shit. I don't like the type of, I don't know, like, Just
I'm the
not
type
on
of person, I
lip.
value my relationships.
Yeah.
So if I've ever called you a friend, if I've ever called you family, I really mean that. So if you do something like that to me, and I would never do that to you, it's hard for me to ever look at you the same ever
Yeah,
again.
and I think he was just pissed because he felt like I chose Drake over him. That relates back to, like, I only bring that up because he brought that up to somebody who told me something. You said Drake, I'm like, in 2015, talking about the song Blessings, where I helped Ye write his verse for the song. After he heard the song, was like, I have to be on it. And I helped him write his verse. And then I told him, you got to turn it into the mastering plant tomorrow, bro, because my album is about to come out. I wake up the next, by the way, I'm doing way too much as an artist. Like, I shouldn't even have to be worried about shit like this.
Right.
I'm checking in like an A&R would. Hey, did he send the verse to mastering? Oh, no, he still didn't. I call his engineer. Yo, did he oh, no, we still, I'm like, bro, y'all bullshit, y'all playing. If he wants to be on the song, he need to send it. And we ended up doing the video version and the radio version, but for some reason he thinks because Drake didn't want him on that song. But I was like, I'm putting Ye on this song anyway because Ye put me on. If he wants to be on the song, he's gonna be on the song. So even though I've said that to his face, he just don't hear me or some shit. So for some reason, he just think that I'm being unloyal or some shit. I really don't know. I can't speak for him. In fact, I don't like speaking for other people, but I'm just, from my perspective, it was something along those lines with that.
Managing rappers' egos is crazy.
All right, y'all. So that's Big Sean and Charlamagne. Again, if you want to see the entire interview, the entire conversation, you got to go on See the Gods page. Go watch it. It's an hour and 40-something minutes. I was not finna sit on here with y'all for nearly 2 hours. Not to watch that. Okay? Especially when the main points of the interview were really like 3 or 4 key moments that niggas have been waiting on him to answer. All the rest of it, we could listen to the album and find out your journey on spirituality and healing and dealing with family and all that stuff. I'm sure it's all over the album. It's going to be out next week, so I could wait on that. But I appreciate the candidness and the openness and the willingness to even come out and have this conversation with Charlamagne, who, you know, say what you want about him. He did go in there and ask the questions that the people wanted and somewhat needed to hear him put an answer to without trying to wiggle out of everything. You know what I'm saying? So salute to Sean on that. And yeah, my conclusion on him is, you know, for one, Big Sean is definitely the Ludacris of this generation. He's constantly been compared to Luda over the years. For numerous reasons. When he first came out, he was definitely a lot more animated. He was a lot more comedic, trying to be funny in his bars. That actually worked to his disadvantage, which is why a lot of people didn't take him serious to a degree. And then over the years, he kind of took on the post-cut hair Luda role. You know what I'm saying? Where other people in hip hop have been hoisted up, their longevity has been supported and to a certain degree upheld. Whereas Luda, with all of the records that he sold in his time, with him during his time period dominating, being one of those guys that would go on Rap City and crazy bars in the studio, had number one videos on MTV and BET 106 in Park and all that type of shit, sold records, number one albums, the whole nine. It was like he never got over that hump to be like mentioned in the same breath as like Eminem, Jay-Z, Nas, DMX. There was always so many other people that came up in conversation before you would ever mention a Luda. And we see Luda still out here today, to this day, going out, performing his heart out. He'll still get on his Instagram and flow over any beat you put in front of him. And he's going to have solid bars, you know what I'm saying? But there's always going to be those people in the back that's like, nah, Luda, that ain't it. Nah, Luda, you're trying too hard. Nah, Luda, get back to Fast and Furious. And it's kind of like Big Sean, his experience in hip hop has kind of been the same way, despite how much money he's made, despite how many records he's sold. And he doesn't even get the respect from Kanye, who he showed up and helped in numerous occasions over the years. It took a whole ordeal for him to get the money he was owed, over $6 million, and he had to accept less than what he was owed just so that they didn't have to go to court about it. Should have went to court about it. Fuck that. You'd have had to pay what you owe me. You would have had to pay my lawyer fees, my legal fees, my filing fees, my gas fees, nigga, my wardrobe fees throughout the trial. Fuck that. But you know, perhaps his healing journey said, man, I'd rather just you do the right thing. Whatever y'all can afford, slide it my way, please. Unfortunately, as with all things Big Sean, he had to get the short end of the stick. Pause. So let me know what y'all think of this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Become an insider. It's so much better on the inside than out. I will catch y'all on the next one. Much love and respect, y'all. Peace.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rags. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef for computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I've been dropping these haters like calories. First I'm out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.